Good afternoon to everyone. I think we started the game quite well. Just when we thought we had control of the game, we considered a goal that I think we lacked a bit of focus at that stage. I've not looked at it again, but what I saw, I thought Ranga was in between my centre backs, and I don't know how it happened because the expectation would have been to at least have one behind him. And it was unfortunate for us to concede that early goal. But like I always say, every cloud has a silver lining, because it is also nice to get a dress rehearsal of a game like this where you are trailing against such a big crowd, against a team that is also doing well at that time, but you are able to keep your feet on the ground. Because I think immediately after we conceded, we then took control of the game again and exploited a lot of possibilities in between the lines. But I think the moment we started to use our width, that's when the game started to open up. I think Tesh is the one who created the first moments with runs on the outside and forcing Miguel into a foul, and Tapel on the other side. Then we had Ike was consistently trapped behind their defense, and that's when we started to look like we can score anytime. And fortunately, we managed to score what I think were very, very good goals from very good movements and dominance at that time. Then in the second half, I think we also started quite well, but now we were forced into too many shapes and systems because the opposition was beginning to throw everything. They are a team that relies on their fullbacks and their wingers to put balls into the box. Now we had to change from our 4-3-3 initially. We went into a diamond, and we realized that a diamond was giving a little bit more space into the channels for the fullbacks, and we then brought Modiba in on the outside and Peter on the outside on the other side, just to make sure that we've got wingers that could confront their fullbacks. Then later on, we then asked Peter to sit with their six instead of going to the centre backs. There were moments where Marcelo was caught out of position because at that time we were suffering. They were bombarding us with a lot of diagonal balls and balls into the box. But I think the team responded very well. We managed to, at the end, we decided to bring another centre back to make sure that at least we've got three in the heart. And now at that stage, we were thinking if there was any way they could get a goal, possibly it could be a set piece. Our thinking now was around making sure that we've got the right numbers to take care of their aerial strength, because they are also proving to be a very strong team on set pieces. And I think that's how the game could be summarized.
Thank you, Coach. Mike is Roby. Your name of your media house, and the question. You are on timer. You'll be done in the next 15 minutes, Coach. Starting with you.
Coach, from Leadership Times, Ronaldo puts here in the sixth role today. It's not quite the same as Teboho Mokoena, not as dynamic, but he had a great game. But how does he change your system? Because he's obviously not the same type of player. And is it a challenge to use him? Because perhaps he also doesn't release the ball as quickly as Teboho, but had a great game today.
To be honest, I wouldn't really want to say anything negative about River. Ever since he has played as a six, and he has played as a six for us even in the past. Very, very good player technically. He can use both left and right comfortably. He reads the game very well. One of the best leaders we have in the team. He's not often caught unaware what is happening around him because he scans a lot. I rate him very highly as a six. And as a six, I also don't want somebody who moves a lot and open that hole. I want somebody that is a little bit stable. That's why I prefer to play with 3 central midfielders so that the 8s can confront whatever situation, but the 6 is always a pivot in front of the last line. Teboho is a very good player, but he might also even help us as an 8 because his dynamism, his ability to score, his aggression might be even more important for us going forward, but he's also a very good 6 for us. But make no mistake, Rivaldo technically is one of the best players I've ever worked with. So I will always have him in my thoughts because I believe he's very good in his space. But you cannot even compare the 2 players because their profiles are very different.
Mokoena Mngqithi from News 24, the side coach. You've previously said that it's good for SA football to have the big 3 doing well because it also rubs off on the national team. What do you make of, in terms of having faced Chiefs now, what do you make of the strides that the team seems to have made this season in the first 3 games compared to what they were last season?
To be honest, I think the team looks very good. It looks refreshed, it looks energized, and the structure that Coach Nabi is playing with, it's very potent. It's very difficult for teams to really understand because he has that front 3 that is cheating, and he's got the 4 in the midfield with the 2 central midfield or 2 pivots, and he uses Duba on one side, and he uses the front 3 up there, and Frosler would push a little bit. Cross would push a little bit more, and they remain with the last 3, which is why we wanted Tashrik to be outside Frosler because we knew initially we thought Duba would be on that side, so we wanted to make sure that we stretch Frosler a little bit because Cross was never supposed to be there based on our analysis, and they changed because they wanted to take care of Tapelo, and they brought Duba to the side of Tapelo, which I think helped to a certain extent, but I don't think it helped that much. But the truth is, it's refreshing to see a Kaizer Chiefs team that plays like this. They must look to try to dominate matches more because we cannot, as big teams, always rely on good rest attack and counter attacks. We must also try to really put our foot forward. But I'm very happy with the progress that the coach has made in such a short space of time.
Good afternoon, Coach. Congratulations on the victory. Coach, a certain player has been in your match squad for the past 4 games. He comes in, performs like that. He looks an artist the way that he marks. Are you happy to have such a player? I think he was also, positively so, proving a point. I mean, he's a gorgeous footballer with the ball at feet, and also his marking off the ball is second to none.
What are you talking about?
Mudau.
Yeah, it was nice to have Mudau back. Like I said even before, but they are still going to come back and help us a lot. And I think today was the right time to bring him. And he did very well. He proved the quality that he has, no doubt. Defensively, he's one of the best players you can ever have. In 1 against 1, I think he's in a class of his own. And it was pleasing to see him perform the way he has performed today. And I was very happy.
Hold on there, let's have
Evening, Coach. Very from SABC here. Congratulations on the victory, Coach. There was a moment where I saw Ronwen there. I think he was giving a pep talk, but also maybe instruction or just correcting or giving advice. Tiwani and Lebusa joining in as well. Is that maybe one of the things that also helps you to have so many leaders in this team, and maybe just the importance of Ronwen looking at the super saves that he made here to keep the team in the game?
No, it's a very good point what you're saying. Ronwen is one of the best leaders you could ever have in your team. Besides his talent and ability in football, but I just think he's got the right energy, the right brain for football, and more than anything else, he's very selfless, and that for me makes him one of the best leaders. And he sees the game very well. It's pleasing to have a player like him in your team, and I must say, him coming back really has helped our team a lot to stabilize us and get us back where we are supposed to be. And with regard to the saves that he made, sometimes they say you can't congratulate a fish for swimming, because that's why he's number one. That's why he's highly respected, because he's a very good athlete, very good goalkeeper, and a very good leader overall.
Coach, congratulations on the win. You know, there's a saying that goes, if it's not broken, don't fix it. When you came in, you made a number of changes, both on and off the field, and it was a bit baffling to us from the outside, because why would you change a team that was on the brink of invincibility? But given the way you've started, and this win in particular, is it a justification to you say that you were right in changing things up as much as you did? Does it give you that feel-good factor to know that you are on the right track and you are vindicated in your decision?
I think it was ignorance from the beginning to think that we have changed anything, because I think we added, we did not change anything. And sometimes when in a society where people jump into conclusions before they even ask, you end up having situations where people think there is something that has happened and yet there is nothing. Because the truth was, we wanted to improve the speed of play, because we were a team that was not strong on transitions. We were a team that was not strong on break attacks. We were a team that did not have maximum width, and we had to improve those aspects because they are fundamentally important to the success of any football club. And because our society has got a lot of people that jump into conclusions and they don't even bother to ask so that they have answers. They immediately use their pen and paper to write whatever they like. So I don't even think I'm vindicated, because I've never changed anything. I've added. I've been in this institution for so many years, and I know what has gone right, what has gone wrong, and I know areas that need to be improved, and also commend the good work that my predecessor did, because there was a lot of work that Rulani did, which is good and is helping the same club that is there now. And if I was stupid or ignorant or having a low self-esteem, then I would go the direction of wanting to change and bring my own things. But I never had that mind, and it was baffling to hear people talking the way they talked.
Coach,
Yeah.
what did you make of your team's control, especially in the second half? I think maybe the last 35, especially after you subbed off Temba and Lucas. And in terms of Kaizer Chiefs, how positive they were towards the dying stages. Is that something that maybe caught you off guard, surprised you, even when you look at the first two matches where they were very, very strong in the first half, but not so much in the second half?
I don't think we really lost control of the game. But it's just that there were moments where we got rattled, because they were not a team that plays a lot and shifts us and moves us from one side to the other. But they were a team that was forever looking for that run behind the defense, or that diagonal ball into the box, or that cross, and that, to a certain extent, made them to gain territory, because now they were trying to be as close as possible to the box, which is why I said we had to try and come up with strategies to deal with the double wide of the winger and the fullback that they were bringing, because if the winger could not play the ball into the box, then it brings it back to the fullback, and the fullback puts it in. and that is how they played. But even the way they played, I do believe if we were precise enough, we could have caught them nicely with some very good counter-attacks. We are unfortunate not to utilize the moments we got, because I think we got very good moments that could have just killed the game off. But because they kept the momentum and the scoreline was only 1 goal up, now you have to tread carefully as a coach and say, in your mind, there should also be an element of thinking of closing it. And that's what we thought in the latter stages when we even brought Rulani to say, because now this game is clumsy. We rather look at possibilities of closing it, because on set pieces they might cause us a lot of harm.
Last one, closing Mazola.
Okay. Coach Manqoba, you don't play again, if I'm not mistaken, until after the FIFA break. How do you sort of, kill that time? Because it feels again stop-start when you are picking up that momentum in the game.
No, we'll try to have some friendly matches in between. It's a bit unfortunate, because we did think it would have helped us to play in the week of the Nedbank Cup final, so as to alleviate pressure on our side. But unfortunately, it did not happen. But we also use these FIFA breaks to give our players a little bit of a breather, because we know the schedule ahead is going to be very tough. But we will have to play at least 2-3 days.
Congratulations, Mamelodi Sundowns, Coach